All right, guys, this is Conversations with Scott and Cal, and this is episode 1 of Higher Conversations. And throughout this time, we're going to just be having a series talking about aspects of business and life and how we can utilize our personal growth for the success of the world. And here I have Scott Hankins with me, and he's a co-owner of Synergy Therapies in Independence, Missouri, and in Oak Grove. He's got 2 clinics. And Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Well, first of all, it's good to be here. It's good to be with Calvin. He's a budding physical therapist and has a bright future. It'd be good to see him succeed in all he does. But yeah, my journey started obviously well before Cal. I've been a physical therapist since early 2000. So doing this for a good, 22 years now. Wow. And have lot of experience, a lot of success, a lot of failures, a lot of really just good experiences in the physical therapy field. It's a wonderful field. It's growing and it's got a lot of potential to it. I think we're just tapping into what we could do. But I started my practice in 2005, and it's, Independence and the Oak Grove clinics are part of the Kansas City area in Missouri. And so since 2005, we started out with a pool. So the biggest thing is one of the biggest reasons why we were successful is because we have a niche that's key. In physical therapy, you want to have a unique niche. There's a lot of competition, a lot of very good therapists out there. And it's good to collaborate with them and work with them. But still, you want to see some people in your community that like you for a certain reason. So being a PT, you want to stand out, and there's a lot of good ones out there, like I said, but we wanted to use aquatic therapy. So it was expensive, but we were able to start off with we call it a capital lease, where you start off, with easy money in, and then you pay it off over time. And so it's easy to pay off as you get successful. So because we had the water, a lot of the doctors referring sources for us, and even patients who knew about us, it's just the water, especially warm water. It's 92 to 94 degrees, multi-depth. You don't have to swim. You just need to be able to do therapy in a warm water, buoyant environment. That just feels good. It's just a natural good association. You go, yeah, I want to move and feel good. Water just makes sense. So doctors knew that. The science behind aquatics, proves itself. It's wonderful for orthopedic conditions, neurological conditions, chronic pain, balance, and so on. So we got a lot of referrals because of that, because no one else was doing it. So because of that, it was good. So in addition to that, we were really good at hiring people who are good at something. So everyone has something unique about them or they're good at. So we utilized their natural assets or skills and put them together into this clinic called Synergy Therapies. And the name Synergy just kind of makes sense, because what is the definition of synergy? It is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So if you think about it like that, you think 1 + 1 is 3. So we started off with like 4 people, and we were all unique business people, marketing people. I was an operations physical therapy guy, put it all together. Other skill sets came together in therapy, and we marketed it. So we had a marketing person push it. We had me putting together the operations part. We had people doing the therapy who are good at what they do. I went out and did marketing with marketing people who were better at marketing than me. So we all worked together, and the word got out, and we went from 0 to 3, basically 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. We were able to grow and basically start making money within about 3 to 4 months. That's big. We did it fast, even with a lot of expense in the startup. So that's the key. So just have a niche, hire people who are good at what they do, and learn to work together.
So for new therapists like me, a lot of people have showed interest in wanting to start a business, and there's some stats out there that say that 20% of the businesses that are made, or actually 20% of the business that are created those are the ones that are successful. So those 80% of the people that start up actually end up failing. So with your company, how did you guys become successful in that startup aspect?
So in the startup aspect, it's more we had the right team. We had the right kind of crew that had a lot of experience beforehand. So it wasn't just new people doing new things. It was new people working together doing things they've done before. So I had a father who's a partner in it. He had his own practice. He's not a therapist, he's a business guy. He kind of set it up with me. I was learning as I go. We had a business manager who knew how to run insurance, get everything together. So we were in compliance. She set that up. Had another physical therapist with me that started that, had a lot of experience before in their skill sets. And so we were able to see patients with success and have an operational plan. So that we knew that beforehand. We did marketing even 6 months before we opened. So we already had a little snowball going into it. So we were basically telling people we're coming, and then we came, and then the patient showed up. And then that momentum just grew because we already had the plan of how to work with the patients, how to see them, how to build the insurance, and so on. So we knew what we were doing before we started. So you really need to know what you're doing. You don't want to start off and guess as you go. You want to know, and then you just do it. And planning is important, and knowing who does what is very important too. That way there's no power struggle. I know you do this, I do this, we work together.
Right. So having the knowledge beforehand and the preparation so that when you do launch the business, that's when, you're already starting at a higher capacity rather than starting off
Yes.
slow and then trying to build the clientele or
Yeah.
the patient caseload.
Yeah.
So marketing off the get-go, off of the plan that you've created in the beginning. So marketing early.
Yeah, exactly. Marketing early is key. With your own business, you want to have a lot of pre-marketing before you open up.
So with operations of the business, how do you incorporate yourself into that whole of the business? Like how you were just saying, where you as the individual, you have to put yourself in the business and not really identify with your role, but identify with the company. So
yeah, so this is the part of the conversation that we can take it to a higher realm, because it's very hard for people who, and let's be honest, we come at it from, this is me, this is what I do. Okay. I'm really good at this. That's fine. But when you come into it with a growing respect for the people you work with and a growing kind of value for them, a way of seeing them as a kind of a part of you, because the company is you. You want to get to this mentality that I am the company. Just like in family, I am part of the family. I am the family. I represent a certain last name, a family name. I represent a certain company name. So there's no Scott does Scott. It's Scott with others creates this connected feeling where I start to want to be who I am in relation with others. How can I do what I do better so I can help the business person, the marketing person, other therapists, and of course our patients, because our patients, that's why we're in business. Yeah, it's good to make money, but the money is a byproduct of doing good work together, not individually. And I'll say that again. Money is a byproduct of doing good work together, not on your own, not for yourself. So that took time, good 5 years of really kind of getting into that rhythm. I mean, there were some, struggles, and don't get me wrong, it was there. But we have to have, everyone has to have that mentality or it doesn't work, that we have to work together, and there's no me, it's just we. That's key.
Right. So in the beginning, so what you're trying to say there is not to worry about the money. It's more of the quality of the service that you're providing. So if
Right.
you identify yourself, like if you are the employee yourself and you're thinking about me, what am I getting paid out of this business that I've created? What am I going to make out of this? You are just taking away from the company rather than having the company have some resource to build off of.
Yes.
So you're wanting to make it almost to where you're only taking what you need and reinvesting it back into the business to
Right.
grow that business, give more quality of service and a better environment for not just you, but
Right.
also the employees, the patients, and that is what creates the community that
Right.
brings more people in to the
Right.
company.
Yeah. So it's a mentality of if I do so, if I go to a CEU course and I do this and I get better at this skill set, it's going to help the company, help the community, help the people, which enhances the company's ability to take care of you as well. Because the company is going to have greater vitality, better stability financially. It's going to have a good name. It's going to have a good reputation. We do what we do for the sake of the company, not for me. So, and even in productivity measurements, I want to be good at what I do so it helps the company. And so if I do something that's increasing productivity, it's going to help others, because competition is important, but it's not competing against each other. It's competing to help each other. I want you to raise your game. You want me to raise my game. And the more vitality and energy you put into it, I want to do the same thing. It's good envy. It's good because we're
Good
helping
envy.
the company. There's no one person dancing. There's no man's an island. We're all connected. And so we have to improve each other by motivating each other, by being better at what I do myself, but I do it for the sake of increasing the quality of what the company does. And it influences everybody. So the intention, the mentality is I do it for the sake of the whole, not for me.
Right. And so with, like you were saying, with the competing aspect, it's not a competition, but it's almost like you can use competition as a sense to motivate yourself to perform better and produce more, but
Yeah.
it's not for yourself alone. It's more for the gain of the company so that that company can give back to the patients, give back to the employees, and help grow the company rather than yourself. Because
Right.
there was one thing that that I read from your book. Actually, this is one of the books that Scott created, and it's on Amazon. You can find it. It's called the Community Manifesto, and you can find it on there. It's Building the Final Society, and it talks about how you can connect with other people in a group and create an environment to where people are feeding and growing off each other. It's like a form of mutual relationships. And
Yeah.
what is that term in biology, as they call it? Yeah, the mutual gain or something. Like there's something in biology.
It's symbiosis.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a symbiotic relationship.
And so in that book that you wrote, there was a part that was talking about how if you have a group of 10 per se, and this kind of relates to economics too, where if you have a group of 10 and a specific individual receives more. So let's say you have a tribe of 10, and between that 10, there's a total of $100 between all of them. They can only share 100 between the entire crew. Let's say one person takes 50 from that 100. That means one individual out of those 10 has the 50, and now the other 9 have to work with the other 50. So you're almost stripping away that value from the whole for yourself, and you're starving the rest, rather than only taking what you need for yourself, that dollar, and give the rest others. Well, even maybe one person doesn't even need as much as the other person, so they just need to receive a little bit more or a little bit less depending on your needs for the betterment of the whole. And I kind of think of it like that with business, and what you're saying and how you made your business successful is only take kind of what you need and feed it back into that environment to let everyone else to kind of take what they need, and it grows with it.
Right. So your energy of giving, you're either giving, an emotion of positivity, energy of giving some intellectual knowledge into the company about what you do, and you spread it. We do this in therapy. We do in services. We want to have one wave raise all the boats. The tide raises all the boats together. We're trying to raise the bar in our excellence in what we do for the sake of others. And when we all participate with less selfishness, less some people are shy, that's just their nature, but you got to be a little bit more expressive and open because we all share in this. I don't know what you know. And if you don't share, we don't know. And it goes for everybody. So going back to your thing about the tribe, 10 people together, understanding that individually, this is all we need to live on. So let's say there's $100, there's 10 people. Each person only needs what? $5 to live. And there's $100 for all of us. So 10 times 5 for individual basic needs just to live in life. And we agree 5 is good. That's $50. Now there's the $50 left over. We don't fight over the $50. The identity, our thinking, our heart is that other $50 is also me, meaning the company, the tribe. That $50 stays vested in the company. I don't want to pull away from it. I want to reinvest back into it. So as a company makes more money and my needs stay the same, I don't take more than $5 anymore. I still keep the $5. That's very hard because we want the BMW. We want the nice vacation. That's fine. But we have to think our free will is based on not choosing this or that. It's choosing what is best for me or for others. That's where really our free will comes in. Do I do it for me or do I do it for others? That's the test. And that's where humanity is being tested right now. How do we live for others? By giving more to others and less for me. I live small so the company and rest of the people can live big. But if they also think like me, the whole grows. The company starts to have more money. It's there. And in times of need, we can pull from it. Something happens, God forbid. This is how insurance companies should be. This is how corporations should be. This is how churches should be. This is how everyone, any place where people are collecting together, working together, we should grow the collective, not grow the individual. So live on what you need and then give back to the whole. When the whole grows, keep it in the company. I don't need that much. I only need to eat, 2,500 calories a day. I need a car to get from A to B. My clothes can be whatever it is. My house can be whatever it is. A few vacations here or there, getting the kids through college, it's fine, but that's it. What else do we need?
Right.
So we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to choose. This is a free will moment for everybody. This is a choice point in society. We need to start thinking about everybody, not ourselves.
Right. So for people out there who are trying to make this mindset change from consuming for themselves, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, consume the things that you necessarily need, but don't overfeed yourself to where you're stripping from the rest. How can
Right.
how can one person start getting into this mentality of, or even practicing this mentality into making it a habit to think about the whole rather than yourself?
The concept in the book that you showed is there's a concept called connection circles. Okay. You start with that. Yeah, it's an individual choice. We need to say, okay, I need to realize something within me is selfish. Okay. And then recognize it. And that's okay. We're all born that way. I mean, let's be honest. We're all selfish. You can say you're not, but there's a lot of selfishness within you, and there's some selflessness as well within you. It's a mixture. But within a company, if we all sit down, say once a week, Monday morning, we get there early, we need 10 minutes right before our first patient show. We all sit in a circle, and one person is in charge of one question. They ask the question for the day or the week. How can we, whatever it may be, how can we be less about me and more about we and for the patients that we serve? And everyone answers it. And one person begins it, and you go in a circle. Cal gives an answer, 60, 90 seconds or less. It's not about being an oratory kind of guru where you speak and profess and something really smart. It's not the intellectual part. It's the connection. You say something for 60 seconds, and Bob says something for 45 seconds, and Mary for about 60 seconds, and Sally and Frank and Sam and Dolly. There's 10 of us that are all together, not just therapists, but the whole staff. And if we all start adding on to each other and listening, not with our minds, but our hearts, how can we help? How can we go from me to we this week or whatever, or something specific? Then something happens. There's a spirit that is created in that kind of connection circle that permeates through the day, the week. And you can feel it fade. We're going to fall back into our reactive nature, our selfishness. But if we really start to listen to each other and feel each other as a part of each other, then everything we do, from a CEU to something in therapy, something for the company, I want to do it for everybody because I feel connected to them. I'm part of them. Like I feel my arm, I feel my hand. It's part of me. I'm going to take care of this. If I feel Bob is a part of me, I'm going to take care of Bob. Those connection circles help us feel connected. So I would do that. That is how we should start off our week so we can get into a better rhythm of feeling these concepts of how to think about others more than myself.
So to practice that, it's mainly doing it with people. You can't just go by yourself and think, well, the main thing that you can do by yourself is recognizing the differences between yourself and wanting for the self and wanting to give to others. But what you're saying is to come together as a crew with people and think about how you can better everyone and think more about everyone with each
Correct.
other.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yes.
So, sorry, my battery is starting to fade. Hold on.
Oh, no worries.
See if I got it plugged in, but there we go. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Okay. We'll see what happens.
So with your business and this concept of coming together and thinking about how we can change it from yourself and gaining for yourself to others, and how can we prosper others? What is your vision and your goals moving forward in the future for your business?
My vision is to help others become good at what they do within the profession. That is just speaking within birds of a feather flock together. I want their feathers to shine. And whatever it may be, whether it be just giving some wisdom, but really more about how can I help people feel more connected to each other, which then permeates into their families or community in which they live. So feel connected within the company, but also work on helping people feel connected together. It's more the human part. That's what I want to do. My success is other people's success. And their success is not becoming a big shot. Their success to me is being more connected to others. So if there's a feeling of connection where we're working through our individual unique talents for the sake of others, that's where the gold is. That's where I want people to feel the connection. Because if you don't feel Bob as part of you, like your right hand, then what good are you? That's truly how it should be.
Right.
And I think deep inside, we all know that. So be who you are, but do it for the sake of everybody. So
Right.
Success to me is everyone feeling connected.
Well, I want to thank you, Scott, for having this conversation with me and talking about how you are one individual in a body of the whole. You're an organ or a cell in the whole body, and
There you go. Yeah.
think about how one organ can't live without the other organ. Everything has to be connected together in order to, for that organism to succeed and to live and thrive.
Yes.
And so I'll conclude this episode from Higher Conversations, and we'll have more talks on these types of topics in the future. So I want to thank you, Scott.
Well, thank you, Calvin. You're doing a great job. And the more we can get this message out to others about how to connect, how to be really good at what you do, but doing it for the sake of society in the whole, that's what it's all about. So
thank you. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode on Higher Conversations. Thank you.